I think it's been a great week here in India. Just go with the flow. I think it's easier.
All right.
We both won 2 bronze medals in team event, and
What do you think how different is shooting in Germany and in India? One thing that keeps you calm under pressure?
Something like that.
Some points of what made you think he's the right coach for you?
The first thing he said was always positive. He got diagnosed with cancer in 2009. This was really, really difficult for us.
Anything which you want to ask about India, maybe anything about shooting?
But I heard that shooting is one of the new sports in India. Compete with my twin.
Hi Franka. Hello Anna.
Hi.
Welcome to India, and I hope you're having a pleasant trip here.
Yes.
So can you tell me, when did you arrive and how were the matches? We can start with Franka.
We arrived on Wednesday, last week.
Right.
Had a great flight, and it was quite late. I think we arrived at 4 a.m. and then went to the shooting range to pack our rifle and ammunition, and then went back into the hotel and had a short nap and started to get to know the accommodation and the shooting range in the mornings.
So this was your first time coming here, right?
Yeah, for me it was my first time here in England.
All right. So what about you, Anna?
Actually, it was my second time because I've been here for the World Cup final.
Yes.
So 2 times India in a year. It's great. The matches went quite well, I would say. I mean, we both won 2 bronze medals in team event, and I even won 2 individual bronze medals in small ball and air rifle. I'm just happy that the season is finally over now because it's been a really long and tough one. But it was a great ending, actually, because university championships are always fun. We've been to Chengdu last year, where Franka was actually our coach. So it was also a nice experience with her. And it's always a different feeling than competing at the World Cup or the Europeans or just normal or usual World Championships. So it was a great way to end the season.
That's great. Congratulations for the medal to you both.
Thank you.
Yeah. I saw the last finals and actually your last 10-meter rifle women match also. Yeah. I could see you both. Yeah. And it was very interesting. I was trying to come earlier also, but that was the match where I was able to come. And that's where we met. And Vinita had a conversation with you. Yeah. So what do you think how different is shooting in Germany and in India, according to your experience till now, or what have you seen online?
I would say in Germany there are, of course, less shooters. I mean, what we've heard from India, from the nationals, it's just amazing, the number of people who are competing there. And it's less competitive because there are not that many people. So it's, I wouldn't say easier, but it's just a bit... It's just a small group who's really dedicated to get to the World Cups and World Championships, and that's kind of the most different part compared to India. And especially in the last few years, we've always been the same exact group and same exact people traveling to Europeans or World Cup, World Championships, even to the Olympics. I mean, of course, we need to do some trials and some selections for it, but most of the time it's really been the same people, and it's different than in India where you need to qualify for each event. And this is kind of crazy because you always have a lot of pressure on the qualification for the event, and then you need to build up again all of it and all your will to focus and stuff like that. And I think this is the main difference. And most of the time it's already obvious who is going to make the team, but it's also but there's still the need for qualification and trials. Maybe a bit too much, maybe a bit too German. Like for the national, there are more than 6 competitions.
Yeah,
I think more than 6 trials you have to attend. But yeah.
And actually, the system is also changing now again, probably because we have a new head coach, and it started to change last year already, I think, but not quite.
Processing.
Yeah, processing. But now I think it will be different. And I think also, I'm not sure if it's just like what we think of India as shooting sport, because we feel like it's way more present in the whole country than in Germany. Because in Germany, someone comes to you and asks, what are you doing? And you're telling, okay, I'm a professional athlete in sport shooting. Everyone is like, what is it? Or do you even, is it even an Olympic event or something like this? So this is probably also a difference. But I'm not sure if it's
actually, we thought differently. Like all the shooters that I talked to here, mostly even I had this thought that it's very common in Germany, like everyone would know about shooting. This is what I had heard. But yeah, it's great coming from you knowing the actual thing.
It depends, because we have a lot of history in shooting for the, I don't know how you say. In Germany, you say Bruderschaften. I don't know if there's
kind of
an English word. Historical way of shooting. Like it's more, it's not the sports shooting, but also, of course, with air rifle and the small ball. But it's more about coming together and seeing each other, talking
shooting
to each other,
and just coming together.
Yeah, and enjoying themselves.
So actually, it is something between hunting, which was very common earlier, and sport. It's something in between, is it?
Yeah. Yes. Somehow, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you both get into shooting actually? Was it that way, or was it the competitive thing?
It was actually
kind of both. Kind of both.
Because our grandpa started he started one of the historical clubs.
All right.
And then, of course, our whole family, or our father and grandpa, was in it. And our brother started to shoot as well, and became national champion in 2010 because he switched to the sports.
To the Olympic shooting.
To the Olympic shooting, exactly, because there hasn't been a club where you could actually focus on that until 2005, where our old coach started to found this club, and then our brother went there and became German champion, and then the coach went to him and asked, how do you say?
You've got 2 more young sisters, maybe they should come and have a look, maybe try shooting. And actually Anna stayed with it since then. I took a break at the beginning because I thought it was too boring, didn't have that much fun actually. But I also played soccer quite well at that time, so I focused on that.
Great.
And at some point Anna asked, hey Franka, we need a 3rd member for our team to get to the nationals, and it was kind of obvious to say, yeah, well, let's make the team. And yeah, it's been now for 10 years for me, maybe. Yeah, 11 for me, and for Anna, like.
It's great, and it's very interesting to see that both of you sisters come to the championship together, play at this, and it's very uncommon also.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very rare thing, which is why it's also, people feel very amazed when they get to know about it. Okay, that's great. My sibling is doing nothing. Like, a common person would say that, but yeah, so it's very interesting. So what was your age when you both started?
We started at 10 years old, because you need to, for sure, for the shooting, you need to be 10 years old in Germany, and you even need to have a special license from your doctor, and I think school as well.
Even for air rifle?
even for air rifle. The usual age to start in Germany is by 12 with air rifle, and I think 14 for small bore.
14 or 15.
Yeah, something like
what
this.
What do you think is the best age to start? It's a very common question.
Yeah, I feel like it's 10, like we started, because if you're too old, I think you have too much to,
As in some physical performance goes down, or like life happens, there are a lot of other things. Like
there are a lot of other things, and it's somehow nice to get the focus so young and be dedicated about that. And remain in the sport.
Okay, nice. It is also a sport which I think is known for starting at any age, but the most advantageous age would be if we are young, so that we can catch up the skills early on.
Yeah, maybe because you also care less about what's happening there, and you don't have so much going on in your mind.
So does that
especially in Germany with study or jobs, because you have to do something else in between shooting. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible.
Got it. So, do you think it was more fun when you was younger than now, or is it more fun now going to the championship?
I think it changes. It was quite fun when we started to, at least for me. I think Franka didn't have a lot of fun, but both of us had such a great talent and were quite good early on, and especially the first few years in junior international competitions were really great, just getting to know different countries, different cultures, also making friends from different nationalities. And as I switched to the senior competitions, it was a lot heavier. Like, of course, the scoring was
competition.
Yeah, it was way more competition. It was just more serious, which is obviously fine. I mean, everyone is a professional athlete, and it's part of our job. But it was quite hard, especially last year, for me to get the focus back on why I even started this sport, because to be honest, I hated shooting at some point last year because I didn't want to go for a training or even a competitions, even though I really love my team. I mean, they are really, really great friends for me. But it was just a burden to shoot. And then I actually said to myself, okay, that's not the reason why you started. So get back to that and find the love for the sport again. So now it's fun again, but I think it depends also on the competitions. Like this competition, University Championships, is always fun because it's offside the Olympic stuff. But some competitions are just hard mentally and physically, but this is also part of sports.
Got it. What do you think about this, Franka?
Well, I think I had kind of the most fun also in my first junior national years. I think 2018. We went to the Junior World Championship to South Korea. It was a really great experience, and actually my first international competition in that kind of a class. And after that, it was real fun to get to the competition, see the friends you made the last competition, and just also enjoy the time with the team. And then it started to change as well for me, because I didn't shoot that good in small bore and wasn't prepared to take more time into practice. So I decided to shoot air rifle, just air rifle. But now as I decided to come back, I'm really enjoying myself also with Anna, and having this FISU World University Championship as first international competition to come back is quite nice.
Nice. When I visited, I felt like it had a different vibe than a World Cup or a World Championship, because I think everyone who is coming is a student, is from a college or university, and maybe just that aura felt different. Yeah. So maybe that's why also it's more fun.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not easier by scoring, but easier by just being here. It's just not as serious. Of course, everyone wants to perform quite well, but it's still, I just like it a lot.
Nice.
And actually, it's the first time that we are competing against each other in an international competition.
Oh.
Because you started in senior, and I
Right. So how did it feel?
It was nice. It was actually, I had a quite bad start for my air rifle. I think I went out after 20 shots, something like this. And I was looking up to the scoreboard and was seeing Franka into the first 8. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, she's going to make the final. And I was like, okay, you need to focus on yourself now, because I was so happy for her. And then I was getting better again. And then my thought was, oh no, maybe I'm kicking her out of the final. So it was kind of weird. But this is, I mean, I think this is...
This would be so new, like having this thought in a competition.
But I think it's great because we support each other as no one else would do probably. At the beginning, everyone said like, isn't it too like weird to compete against each other? And most of the time in the competitions, I was the one who shot better than Franka. And at some competitions, she was better than me, and everyone was like, no, she was better than you. And I was like, I was like, yeah, I'm happy for her. I don't mind, because she practice a lot like I do. So why I should be mad? I mean, it's great. But yeah.
Got it. Did your parents also shoot, or when you started shooting?
Our father. Our father. But our mom actually didn't have anything to do with shooting. And at our beginning, when we had to like go to competition every second weekend, she was like, that's too much, stop doing that, you're not home anymore. And now she is her greatest fan, actually. It's so sweet to see her, and she's always watching the finals on repeat. Sometimes she can't sleep, and then I'm coming home from
so
whatever,
like,
and
she's with her telling that this is a spectator sport.
Yeah.
So when do you look back, do you remember like the support of your parents? Was it very necessary for you?
I think maybe at the beginning, but not as much as probably in other clubs, because our coach was already good connected to Walter and Sauer. So we had great connections for all the equipment. I mean, financially it's important to have the support of the parents, because you start shooting at like 14. Where should you have the money from? But from then, it's kind of emotional support, and the greatest you could get, because there never was any kind of pressure for us to.
Actually, I talked to my mom about it a few weeks ago with my other sister, because actually we have 4 more siblings.
Right.
And she asked if Mom did care about our sport at the beginning, and then we talked so much about it, and I was just telling her how grateful I was, or still am, that there was never any pressure. Because we could always do whatever we wanted to, just to not do some stupid stuff, of course. But they always let us do everything. And it was not that we had the need to go for a training because they said. It was always out of our will to go to a training or to perform at the competition. And this is also quite important, I would say, because it's of course healthy for oneself and for the mindset, and it's also showing how much they trust us in doing whatever we feel like is right for us. So it's just I'm just really grateful for that.
I have a funny thing to ask. You just mentioned not the stupid stuff. So what is stupid stuff in Germany? Because I think in India, stupid stuff would be something different. Like in different families, different. How
yeah, I think it
kind
depends on the family as well.
Yeah. So what?
Maybe actually the normal stuff. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything criminal.
Look after each other, of course, was important when we were together, and just behave. Like it's not
have manners.
Yeah,
it's something like.
I think they were never afraid that we would do like really bad stuff because it's just how we grew up. Yeah, I don't know.
So I had planned in an attempt of making it more interesting, like a rapid fire round. So in this, we'll try to pace up the conversation, and you can give short answers, like as short as you can. I'll ask one question, alternative, like one question to Franka and then one question to Anna. Okay. So Franka, 3 things you love about shooting sport.
The competition, the discipline you have to bring, and of course, the whole shooting family.
Great. 3 things you hate about shooting, Anna.
Ooh. I think it's prone. I'm sorry for everyone, but I really hate prone. It's the mental aspect, even though I also love it, and probably the recognition all over the world that it's not as great as one would hope to.
What's your favorite pre-game snack, Franka?
Actually, a boiled egg.
All right. Did you have a boiled egg here in India?
Yes.
Oh, great.
In the mornings.
All right. What sport would you pick if not shooting? I knew she would say soccer, most probably.
No, you cannot.
Maybe actually volleyball.
All right.
Because I really enjoy watching it, and we are also tall, so it kind of fits. But soccer was great as well. I'm still playing soccer.
Oh, that's great.
And I would probably we're still in, I don't know if it's the same in English, vaulting.
What?
Vaulting?
Vaulting. What is vaulting? I don't know.
It's like on a
Pole vault.
No. Then the different one, like gymnastics on a horse.
All right.
How do you? Is it a sport?
I'll check it out actually, and we'll put a visual in the video.
I'm not sure if it's. I think it's vaulting. Probably. Yeah.
It sounds interesting actually.
Even maybe like this or volleyball as well. It's just a great and fun sports to do. Even though I'm not such a good team player as Franka, I guess. Okay. But yeah.
Got it. One thing you always carry to competitions?
Ammunition.
Right. Favorite place you've traveled so far for shooting?
South Korea, Changwon. Yeah.
What did you love about it?
Everything. I mean, I've been there 2 times now.
All right.
As Franka already said, it's been our first international big competition together, so it was quite a memory. And everyone is so kind and nice. The culture, the food, there are a lot of many great aspects.
Right. So, Franka, if you have one superpower for shooting, what would it be?
Maybe to care less at the end of the competition.
Right.
While shooting.
I think this tells that it's such an important aspect of just caring less. Maybe you could say just a fixed forearms. But yeah, this is what even I relate more to it, like caring less. So I don't know how many Indian different dishes, cuisines you have tried, but do you have any favorite till now? What you had? Any favorite food from India?
Okay, we tried aloo tikki.
Oh, really?
This was great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love paneer, anyways, in any way. Garlic naan, of course, stuff like this. Yeah.
Got it. Nice. Best shooting memory?
Maybe actually this World University Championship.
All right. Yeah. Was it because you were competing with each other for the first time?
Yeah, it was maybe because of the long break and coming back and actually shooting quite good. I mean, I started shooting small ball at February this year, and kind of proud that I didn't give up mid competition because I shot 192 in prone, and that's kind of embarrassing and the worst thing that could have happened. But got my stuff and mind back together and did quite good shooting and standing also for the team. My thought was, okay, for the team. And I mean, it went well, and air rifle also kind of good. Yeah.
Nice, good to know. One word to describe what shooting is for you.
Love. It's back to love, finally.
Nice. Good to know. One thing that keeps you calm under pressure?
Maybe rhythmic movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how it's movement in a rhythm.
Yeah,
like
something like that.
A flow state. You just keep going on, and even maybe you're trying to say even when your mind is not telling you what exactly to do, but you're automatically doing the right thing. Is it?
No, it's actually an actual movement.
All right.
Like.
Oh, you do this actually. Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were explaining something.
No, it was actually like this. So my mind gets off anything thinking about.
All right. Yeah, this is a very, very simple technique, I think. I'll try using this.
Yeah. But you can use any movement. You don't need to be like this.
You can also do
this. Just something that's easy for your head, and the body can control the speed of it.
Got it. Even we can do very limited movements in rifle shooting.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you did this, and then your neck. Okay. One thing you like to do after a competition, is it different for a good competition and a bad competition?
I think
maybe both of you can answer this.
I think if I have a bad competition, I need just a break for myself, even if it's only 5 minutes, but I just need to get my head together and analyze what went wrong and what I could do better for the next competition.
Right.
And
it's the same for me for a bad competition.
Yeah. And for a good competition, of course, hopefully making the final and shoot the final. And even if not, just coming back together with the team and talking about the competition or just normal stuff. I think having a great team around is one of the most important aspects in sports, because it's just you need to feel quite good, and you do if you have great people around you.
And maybe one of the first things I do, even though the match was bad or good, is checking what my teammates have shot.
Yeah.
That's kind of the first thing I do when I unpack myself, looking up. And
you've mentioned many a times your team. What do you think gets that bonding in a team? Is it the regular league matches which you keep having there? Like, what is that thing which keeps bringing you together and performing? Is it regular league matches, domestic league in Germany, or international championships only?
Of course, it's part of it. But I think it's also knowing that everyone is aiming for the same goal Everyone wants to compete at the Olympics, wants to win an Olympic gold medal, and also to know and exchange into everything, because you want to learn, and it's nice to learn in a group. Or even some would say I could never learn from Franka because she took a break for 2 years now, but I'm learning a lot from her, and same goes other way around. So it's just, I think it's many aspects, but obviously to be around that much, and always to look after each other. I mean, everyone does that in our team, and I'm really grateful for it, because it's not always been like this in Germany. We had a lot of quite big, opponents in a team before. I don't know it because I've been a junior still at that time, but now it's just lovely to come back to competitions and just see them.
That's good to know.
Maybe out of Olympic shooting or maybe Olympic competition, we also shoot in our Bundesliga team, and everyone gets to be herself, and don't have to act up or anything like that, and actually really enjoying the time you spend together, not because of the competition, but because of the time you have after the competition, before traveling there, playing card games or anything, having dinner together. It's kind of a second family, and really looking forward to Anna joining us the next weekend again.
Nice.
It
was a very nice rapid fire round. It wasn't very rapid, but but I love the questions that I was asking and the answers.
Not used to shoot rapid fire.
No, we have something more also, and that will also be very interesting, I guess. Would you like to take your coffee? I'll just get it for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think about like food? What food should a shooter have? Is caffeine good for us?
Actually, I never drank coffee before a match, or before even in my daily life.
Okay.
And then I started to get on more trips with the team, and everyone was drinking coffee, and I started like, okay, let's just try it. And now I'm always drinking a lot of coffee. But usually I just, most of the time I keep it to when I'm at home. I drink a lot of coffee, but when I'm around, I don't like it as much. Now it's different, obviously. But so I don't know if there's a special diet for a shooter. Of course, the main aspects, but this is for everyone and every shooter or every athlete. But I don't know. At least we don't have a
special diet or anything.
Yeah. All right. You're just taking care of your health overall.
Yeah. Yes.
That's good. And shooting's good. You're not eating mindlessly or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like. So, you also mentioned like your coach was very supportive, and when I had the question of your parents supporting, it was like moral support, financial support, and then you also said that the coach was taking care of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I have seen many a times a lot of shooters are not able to find coach of their choice, maybe, or maybe the one they can tune up with, and they don't even realize that they need to change or maybe try it out with a different coach. So did you, obviously you were very young, and maybe all of these thoughts didn't come at that point, but looking back at it, can you tell some points of what made you think he's the right coach for you?
I think we were pretty lucky to have him as a coach, as Franka already said. I mean, we didn't had a different chance because he was the best coach in the whole region where we grew up, and also was the head coach of the regional team. So he had a lot of experience already, was coach of our Bundesliga team, where Ivana Maksimovic started shooting as well, or Sergej Richter or Milenko Zebic. So they were already a few professional athletes at our club.
And that was also kind of inspiring to have them there and training with them. I mean, we were like, Sergej started shooting
almost 40, or almost the same time ago.
We started to shoot for our club, and he always says, "I remember you two at this," and now you're competing on the same level as I am. That was also a major
aspect, and he was always looking after us, not only as a sports person, but the person behind oneself. So this was great, and he was also always supportive and
never putting pressure.
Yeah, never putting pressure. Or whenever we had a bad match, it was the first thing he said was always positive. Okay, this is your strength, and we need to still do this in your training, like this. So this was always a great reminder how good you actually are, because you somehow tell this to yourself and you believe in it and have a lot of confidence after that. And this was, I would say, without him we wouldn't even be near to what we are today.
Yeah.
And actually he got diagnosed with cancer in 2019. Yeah,
right.
2019, which was obviously a quite big deal for every one of us, because as Franka said, he was like a second dad to us. And then he died in 21, and this was really, really difficult for us. Especially for me, I would say, because he always looked after me, also competing at the senior level, because in Germany it wasn't usual for a junior to compete in the senior level,
right.
Even though my scores were better than the ones from the seniors. But they said, okay, no, that's the age and that's the rule and that's just typically German. And he was always fighting for it. And then I started early in senior competitions, and I was not able to give that back to him with success. I felt like a bit bad, because I thought, oh no, he had so much to do with that and had spent a lot of time and energy and effort into it, and I'm not able to even win anything for him. But this was never his point. So this was just in my head, but this was really, really difficult time. And after that, we trained a lot of our own. So without a coach, or with our brother Simon, who learned a lot from the coach before. And then I also changed the coach, or went like once a week to a different shooting range to train with one assistant coach from the national team. And at the beginning it was quite hard to get back to that, because I never accepted anyone else but Rudi, the coach before. And this was pretty difficult for me. But now, since I'm in Munich, it's just, I feel like my coach now is almost on the same level as the one we had at the early beginning. So it's quite great.
I'm so sorry to hear about him. And also it's very lovely to know how you were telling about him, like the efforts he had put, and also made you think that you were not doing enough. That probably tells me he was doing so much.
Yeah. And the best thing about him were his bad jokes.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, you were eating
Carrots.
Yeah, you were eating a carrot, and he was like, you ever seen a rabbit with glasses? Or something like that. And you just thought, oh my. But kind of a nice atmosphere with him, and wiped along.
I think that is what helps the most. It has helped the most with me, like good humor. Maybe you can call it bad humor, but it made you laugh. So it's good humor. And it's memorable for you. That's great. Yeah, so this another interesting attempt.
Okay.
So you must have seen this or that games. But here we are going to play Franka or Anna.
Okay.
So you can just raise your hand. And if you want to tell anything that comes up to your mind, you can tell about it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more about less about shooting and more about you and your life.
Okay.
Who's more fun? Yeah. Who is more disciplined? Okay. Who forgets equipment more often? Who's more competitive?
Both.
All right. Who spends more time in the gym? If you don't go to the gym, is it?
It depends. I think in the typical gym it would be me, but Franka is the one doing more sports because of soccer and tennis and road cycling. I do this as well, but I focus more on the typical
strength training and
for shooting.
More endurance for me.
Yeah.
Got it. More into the gym, more into the athletics, maybe. Yeah. Who is more likely to experiment more in shooting? Like changing settings or trying new techniques?
I think it would be me, but also because I have more experience and I'm comfortable and confident enough to do so.
But it's kind of that we both adapt real quick to any kind of new equipment or changing. Right. So it's because, I mean, you're the one who's triggering, and I mean,
is it that you're always up for changes because you also think it's not the most important aspect of shooting because you're the one who's triggering?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't stop you.
Yeah. I think it's something people also need to learn in the sport, that the mind aspect of a healthy mind or good mind is way more important than every technique or stuff you can buy or train or do. Because after the Olympics, we still had German nationals. And after that, I took a full break of 2 months, came to the World Cup final and shot a new world record. And I didn't train anything. So it was just a break and to free my mind, feel good. I was on vacation with Franka and a friend of ours. So I think this is way more important than any specific equipment.
Maybe not technique, because you have to be on a...
You need to have a
static level.
Yeah, of course. But sometimes I see people around and doing like this and this, and I was like, oh, come on.
You need to buying every 6 months new clothes, something like that. It doesn't help you to get better.
So usually when I've met elite players, usually technique or equipment is not the most common thing between them, but temperament is. And that's what I could see here also.
Yeah.
So it was very relatable.
I mean, I'm still shooting with my pants from 4 years.
Oh.
Maybe?
Nice.
No, even 5 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Great.
But I got new measurements here in Delhi, so there will be a change.
Yeah, that's for everyone. Even with old equipment, you can score as well as Franka. Yeah, it's such a nice score. So, I think I already have the answer to the next question, but I'll ask, who's more relaxed in general situations in life? Okay.
No, not life situation.
Okay. It depends. In shooting it's definitely me, but everyone beside that, it's me.
All right.
But both of us are quite relaxed.
And who spends more time on social media?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think it has any relation to shooting? Because many times here a lot of coaches tell, be less active on your phone or on social media for training, like mostly younger kids.
Actually, I was just talking with Anna that I have never posted that many stories and anything like now here in India. But I mean, it's also kind of marketing, and maybe you need to embrace yourself a little bit more to, get a greater view on the sport.
But I think it depends on the situation. Like in training, it's of course better to just focus on your training to get it done, and not to be on social media like half of your time for training. You want to be effective, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad thing to do.
Got it. So we can be on social media being shooters.
Yes,
This is not overdo it,
definitely.
Right? Who likes to maintain a training journal, like in a very disciplined way, like regularly?
We have a system in Germany where we need to write down what we did, but not just like what type of training, like if we did technique training or performance training or something like this.
And time and...
So, I think in that case it would be me. Otherwise, I think none of us is writing down how we felt or how stuff is feeling. I don't think we do.
Got it. Who is better at handling a jet lag? Okay. And who's more likely to pull a prank?
For sure.
Do you have a story like last prank she pulled on someone? Maybe it could be throwing an aloo tikki which you had on someone.
No, actually, not in my mind yet. But...
Maybe it's something you don't want to mention here.
Yeah, I know something which happened in the last days here, but I don't think we are allowed to say it on camera.
If you don't like it,
maybe we wait until we're out of the country.
So the time we post it, you will be out of country. But maybe if you don't like it, we'll remove that part. But if you like it, we'll keep it.
Maybe I took a trunkie from the
opening ceremony. Like the mascot. And then it was like a small trunkie.
Yeah.
And she took it.
No, it's actually quite big. It's like from here to here with a rifle.
Okay.
And actually kind of funny story. Every time we come back in our hotel room, it's turned around. So we placed it like in front of our bed that he could actually see us. And every time we come back and the room was cleaned, they turned the trunkie around. But we don't know what.
Anything which you want to ask about India, maybe anything about shooting?
I think we've learned a lot from Akhil and Sift already, which was definitely quite interesting because we thought it would be way different, also with the financial system in India. I don't know.
So I think when you met, shooting was not the main thing you were talking about with Akhil and Sift.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Any interesting thing which came up then, which you would like to mention here?
Yeah, the trials for national team, and also that they had to pay for themselves for the last FISU games in Chengdu.
Okay.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah, because this is not typical in Germany. If you're part of the national team, usually always the government pays you to or just pay. Actually, in Germany, it's like they pay the flight, they pay the hotel, and a bit for food, but nothing else. So we also, if we win a medal, we won't get any prize money from them. You need to have your own sponsors or. Just don't get any money for that. But this is kind of weird because I think in Germany it wouldn't be ever possible because you don't even get that big sponsorships for sports like shooting, because in Germany no one, or at least the most don't know.
It's not the
it.
most famous sports to get a
like
sponsorship on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I heard that shooting is one of the new sports in India?
New sports, as in more people are coming to know about it now.
Yes. Yeah,
we didn't have any Olympic medal in shooting in the last 12 years. So in the previous wave, 2004, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore, 2008, Abhinav Bindra, 2012, Gagan Naran, Vijay Kumar, and we have... So there were a lot of medals consistently. And then after 12 years, now we have got medals, and most of them were in shooting. So right now there's a wave in the news about sports shooting, which is going on, and people are getting to know about it. So we also thought to make the most out of it and, make the sport more famous in India. So maybe I think right now people are calling it a new sport.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a very old one. I think in earlier times, Maharajas used to mostly play shotgun. Many of the Indian team shotgun players had also come from royal families from Punjab. And still they are like generationally they had played, and generationally they had also appeared in Olympics. Yeah, so I found that very fascinating. Yeah. But yeah, like generally in like the mass population, it's a new sport. Yes. So how do you sustain shooting in Germany? When do you start getting a sponsor or something?
We have a national, how do you say,
national fund, maybe?
Fund for everyone who is a professional athlete in an Olympic sport. So it depends whether you are in the military or in a police sports group, if you get the full fund of it. So right now I'm just a student, and so I get the full one. But it's nice for a student in Germany, but it's definitely not enough to live with it or just with it. It's, as I said, it's quite difficult to get sponsors outside of our sport. Of course, we have equipment sponsors like Walter, Kapapi, or stuff like this, which we are really grateful for because it's a quite expensive sport, and I think our parents are grateful too. And
actually I don't get this kind of a fund because I'm not a member of the national team. I study as well, but I also have to work sometimes in a week to get my life organized and paid, and so it's kind of a full week with training, studying, and still have to work. But it's manageable.
Yeah, and usually everyone else on the world team, on the top team from the national team, is either in the military or in the police, in some sports groups.
Just a few of them study, like maybe. In the top national team, it's just her, actually.
So one has to build a career to earn and sustain parallelly. Maybe use their name in shooting, which they have got. And otherwise get into a sponsored job, maybe military. Is different, and where you can just full-time do shooting. I think it's quite similar in India also. Yeah, but maybe we have that thought that everywhere else it's much smoother.
No, actually no.
Actually, we thought it would be other way around. So it's in India that it's quite
Yeah, actually a lot of facilities and new sponsorships are coming up, so it's interesting. People are getting more aware. So,
actually, it was a reason for me to say that I'm kind of quitting shooting because I wanted to focus on my career, because I know that our system in Germany is not as well organized for professional athletes in our kind of sports which are not getting that kind of attraction like soccer or anything else in Germany. I thought maybe it would be good to focus on my career, and I did an integrated degree program. But now that
I think it was last year in Chengdu when you decided to come back.
I've been with them as a coach, and I felt the atmosphere and was thinking like, okay, change your major, do a full-time study, and then have time to come back and get back to shooting.
It's mainly the emotion which has brought you back, is it?
Yeah, and I also thought, okay, then you will have your degree, work a year, and then do a special kind of exam. I studied taxation and audit, and it's kind of a big deal in Germany, but also very difficult. And I would have never made it back to shooting. So I decided I'm still young, can change the major and come back and compete with my twin.
No, I'm glad you came back, and that's how we could organize this.
Yeah.
And I'm so overwhelmed. I'm not showing it right now because we've just met. I don't want to scare you with my excitement, but like, this is so good. And this is going to be the first episode on our channel on YouTube. So we'll be making an English channel, which is there, and a Hindi channel, so that more of Indians can do it.
Yeah.
Maybe if people ask us, we'll also start dubbing later on, but right now it's there, and we'll share the link with you earlier on. Yeah. I hope you had a great experience. It was lovely talking to you. I understand there's a time constraint, otherwise I could have kept talking to you for very long, like maybe till evening, or maybe like as long as it could go. There's so many things which we can talk about. And actually, it's something which we all love. So it's always like great to meet new shooters and understand about the sport and find that they have such a positive temperament towards it.
We would like to thank all of you for the great hospitality in the last few days. It's been an amazing experience. As I said, my second time in India, and I really love it here. I am really looking forward to come back one time. And also for the quite supportive energy all around. It's just amazing to see the sports coming through here. Yes. And be dedicated about your dreams, but don't forget to have still fun with it.
Thanks a lot, you both. Like, I'm thrilled.
Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a great session. But I think it's important to exchange more, and to also for the younger generations. It's same in Germany. Like, so many people don't speak about their sports or the problems that come with it. And I think it's the most important part to even also get the experience for someone else and to keep on going, because maybe especially if you have a lot of hard times, you want to quit because you don't know that it's typical for a professional athlete to have such things. So it's good to exchange. Really grateful for that.